Welcome
Welcome,
to Shade in the
Shade in the
City.
City. I'm Treese,
It's Nels.
and
It's She by Sheree.
she by Sheree. And clearly, you can tell that we are doing our review of Real Housewives of Atlanta, episode 17, I believe it is.
Yes, 17.
Episode 17. And so I was actually trying to come to you guys to review some of the fashions that were put out on the show and really just talk about the overpricing. Honestly, some of the stuff is cute that I was able to see.
I
Maybe like,
didn't think it was really workout gear. Some of that shit was like see-through.
yeah, some of it was like
I
giving
mean, where you working out? Maybe,
necessity.
maybe like a home gym, in front of your husband. You trying to entice him or something.
Exactly, a different type. That's a different type of workout. That's that workout Monique and Chris was doing. But
Exactly.
right. But as you guys can see, unfortunately, as Sheree said, pardon our progress, but apparently it was a full house. And there was an overwhelming response of paying for leggings for $142. So therefore, apparently she sold out. So kudos to Sheree. We're gonna get into the review. I just thought,
You frozen?
being the shady bitches that we are, why don't we open it up like this? And it just
Oh, it
so
was just
happened that it opened up like this. I couldn't plan this. It just happened. Now, yeah, let's get into it and let's talk about the fashion show that actually had some fashions. Now, we start off this episode. I guess the most important part, we see the girls and everybody's doing different things. But really, it starts off with Kenya being on the phone with her business manager. I did not get her name, but they're trying to discuss her CVS deal and what's about to happen. And apparently, her inventory came through. She got her doors, as they call them, which is her shelf space in CVS, and they're ready to go. She
yeah.
has
She said she'll be twirling in a CVS near you.
and I do believe she is. I do see her in the local CVS. I know I see Stormy, but yeah, I'm sure. I think I did see Kenya too. Now Marlo goes over to see Sonya with William and Michael. I thought this was super cute. Apparently, Sonya has stepped up to be a part of Marlo's village, and Ross wants to take on, just kind of be a positive male role model
I
in their
thought that was good.
lives. So it's really cute. They come over and they're supposed to be having like I guess Taco Tuesday or just taco night, and they think they're coming over to like help and make dinner. And she lets them know that her and Marlo are going to take care of dinner because she can't cook.
Well, Marlo actually expected dinner to be ready. She's like, I don't smell no food. She's like, but
Right,
you helping me.
right. So Marlo is going to be cooking, and like I said, you heard what I said. Marlo is going to be cooking, and Sonya gonna stand over the pan like she doing something like she did with the salmon. Now,
What? Okay, so what was crazy to me is because Sonya was like, Marlo, are you over there ordering food? And she's like, no, girl, I'm talking to my mom. But she really wasn't ordering food. Did she order for her mom or something? Because ain't nothing ever show up.
oh,
But they
oh,
definitely showed her ordering food.
oh, did it? Well, now, Sonya has gotten the boys their cute little like mechanic jumpers and super
They
cute.
names embroidered on it.
Right. And gets them ready because apparently Ross is going to teach them how to change a tire and change the oil on a car. I was like, this is super important because I know a lot of men who don't know how to do this. And if you know how to do this for yourself, imagine how much money you save for you and your girl. Okay. Now, so he teaches them how to do that. The boys seem to be having a really good time, enjoying their experience. And then as they're doing this, Sonya lets Marlo know that her and Ross, seeing him in this element, and he actually pulled her to the side and said that, if she's not 100% on board or committed to having a baby, then he wants to respect that. Even though that's what he wants, but he wants to respect that, and he just wants to be as supportive as he can to the one that they had. And of course, this just gets her, panties,
Because he ain't forcing her sure. That's how it works. Men, that's how it works.
Right. And now she's like, I'm ready to get this IUD out. And Marlo's like, oh, a UTI,
right?
STD, what is it? And she's like, no, Marlo, it's an IUD. It's an IUD. So she's apparently made her appointment. She's going to get it out. And I was like, okay, Sonia, kudos. So they're looking forward to possibly introducing another Ross Richardson or Richardson.
Or a little baby girl, because Marlo is ready to give all her little Chanel to the little baby girl. And tells her to keep the Lord on the main line. She said, look, I got him on speed album. Sheree, she shows up to her event space to meet up with Tori, her event planner, and Rowan, her coordinator. I told you, boo.
Her fashion show coordinator.
Yes. And you know, they show her
river dance on me. What the fuck? Like, I wish I could see your feet right now.
Oh, my feet ain't doing nothing. They ain't doing nothing. So they show her the glass ballroom, and it's a beautiful space. She says it can fit between 150 to 200 people. Apparently, Sheree contracted a woman for 24 pieces and will only be receiving about 5. Okay. Now, Sheree explained that she would be happy because the event space is beautiful, but like she should be happy, but because the event space is beautiful, but she's pissed because this woman overpromised and she's underproducing.
And my notes say, Tori, the event planner, letting her know that this, Sheree spends the time talking to Tori, the event planner, as Nels was saying, that she can't accept failure again. And I said in my notes, why she feels like this lady cares. All she wants to know is she going to rent the space or not.
She gonna get a check or not?
Right.
I know Sheree's name ring bells in these streets.
Is the check going clear, boo?
Exactly. But yeah, she says, you know, she's getting PTSD for the fashion show with no fashion. She don't want that again.
Because we all know Dwight is coming.
Dwight.
No.
That was from 14 years ago, and that shit's still the fashion show with no fashions. Okay.
We see Marlo. She apparently is on the way to the airport to pick up Mom Dukes. Mm-hmm. Now, I will say this. I definitely, when I saw Marlo's mother, I was like, okay, I see the resemblance.
You did?
She definitely, they don't look like spitting alike, but they definitely have characteristics that I see Marlo has that I'm like, that's definitely her mother. Now, apparently she flew all the way from West Memphis, Alabama.
No. West Memphis, Arkansas.
Oh, that's even worse. I said,
you know what, Trees? I'll give you an A for F because it started with an A.
No, but here's my shit. You know my ass. I'm like, hold on. But Memphis is in Tennessee. So how we get West Memphis, Alabama, or West Memphis, Arkansas? Look. I don't know. Shade Squad. Maybe y'all know something. I don't know. Maybe some of y'all from that area. Am I wrong? Is my geography is Memphis close to Arkansas?
That's what. Listen, you can't feel too bad. My daughter literally just learned how to say it a couple years ago. She was calling it Arkansas.
Oh, Arkansas. Oh.
Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Huh?
There is. It's a real city. It's a real city. It's not a state, but it's a city.
No.
No, but you can't call the state Arkansas. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, she was calling Arkansas Arkansas.
Okay, Shade Squad, don't judge my niece. Anyway, as soon as Marlo arrives, she notices that her mama ain't got no teeth.
Just be like that sometimes.
And she asks her what happened. Her mother says she accidentally threw them away. Can I just tell y'all, I believe that was a lie.
Listen, she said she paid $5,000 for them teeth.
Mama
went I believe she took that money.
Mama went and sold them teeth.
I don't believe she got the teeth.
You don't think she got the teeth?
Well, no. You know what?
Because it seems like Marlo saw them, and Marlo's more hip.
You know what? You might
for too long.
I was about to say, you might be right, because I'm sure Marlo was hit. Marlo knows that her mom was, you know, dibbling, dabbling in drugs and alcohol and all types of stuff. So she ain't about to just send her mama $5,000 and be like, hey, go get your teeth.
Right. No, that's just
so
not.
Yeah, you might be right. She probably, damn, who out here buying teeth though? People out here buying teeth.
Then she decides she's going to take her mother shopping. Apparently, her mother has her own like little kind of like thrift market, get up. And we learned that her mother has been her inspiration for her fashion sense because
oh, Miss Emma.
Because that's her name. Look at nails on her job.
Look,
that's what age and wisdom do to you. Her brain is still sharp, y'all. It's still sharp.
Actually, it's getting sharper because you see younger. I ain't remember she is.
Mm-hmm. Now they sit down and talk while they're in the store, and you know her mother tells her she wants to come back home. Marlo says that she would love that. However, she wants to make sure that her mother is going to be okay. She's no longer drinking, on drugs, and make sure, you know, if she needs therapy. So Marlo says that thankfully in this situation where they're having this conversation, they were in public because as we know, a lot of situations with her mother have gone completely left.
And in private.
But it seems like her mother maybe has changed a little bit or grown. You know, she apologizes for her part in things, but also says that Marlo did things to hurt her as well, and talks about how Marlo kicked her out in a house that she bought them in
Lithonia. That was in Lithonia. And Marlo says, oh, okay, that's what I did that hurt you. Yeah, you know what hurt me? The fact that I got you that house for the boys that I got right now, and you had drug addicts in there, people fighting in there, your ass wasn't never there, and it was no place to raise no kids. And guess who was shush mouth? Her mama.
Yeah. So, and apparently she got phone calls from the police. That's how she found out that what was going on. And William and Michael said, please come get us because grandma used to go missing for days. So yeah, it was pretty sad. And you know, she said she wasn't in a good place to take care of boys at the time. And she asked her mother, do you ever think that I needed you?
Did you realize though, Trace? Because I know you said it all season. Did you realize she got a new storyline now?
Her mama?
Because her mama said she want to move there. And she gonna try and make it work. She ain't seen her in 3.
I didn't pick up on it, but good one. Yep.
She ain't seen her in 3 years.
For next season.
She ain't seen her in 3 years, and now she
and her mama. She gonna be and let her team up with Mama Joyce. Jesus Christ.
I don't know if I see them getting along. Because Mama Joyce ain't got no filter.
Well, Candy and Marlo barely get along, so. Now, basically, you know, Marlo was like, do you ever feel like I needed you? And her mother's like, even when you were taken away, I still came to see you. And
well, she's like, anytime you called me, I was there. You needed me, I was there. And Marlo admits, yeah, she was there. My question is, because when you go missing for days, and I know, you know, you're on drugs and stuff, you're not going to be there every time I need you. I can't reach out and call you. I can't just reach out a hand and say, hey, mama, I need you. So I don't know. I just felt like that was a little bit of a cop out. Don't be like, oh, I needed you to be a mom, but then be like, oh, well, whenever you needed me, I was there. I made sure I came to your aid when you would go missing for days. And
I think part of that is not wanting to
take accountability.
Not even take accountability. I think a part of that is Marlo could have probably went back and forth with her, but she knows that obviously they have a tumultuous kind of when they try to have these hard conversations, because I think a lot of people, when they're in down periods of their life like that, they don't want to hear once they're out of it about the shit that they put people through, even though they should, because like you said, it's about that's true recovery, is going back and apologizing to the people that you hurt while you were doing whatever. But a lot of people don't want to hear that. They want to live in this world and think that, oh yeah, I had a problem, but it really didn't affect you.
See, I can't relate. I can't relate to any of that because I have people in my life who, did things that they're not proud of. But they take accountability for it. They take accountability for, how they acted or things they don't even remember. I can't relate to that. I would not be able to be around
But
that.
that's what Marlo's mom gives me. Because even when she was like, I was really hurt, and she's like, I just don't want you to be hurt anymore. Like she doesn't want to get to the nitty gritty. Even when, and we'll go into it later so I'll leave it for that. But we see another conversation with Candy. And even then you can tell she has an issue revisiting what she's done. She just wants to move forward and I get it because her past was bad, but a lot of people in her life have trauma because of what she's did in her past.
But I'm an advocate for this. If you don't feel ashamed about it, you don't feel regretful for it, the chances of you going back to doing it are pretty high. I need you to feel hurt.
That's why they say you have to deal with your past in recovery.
Yeah, we would have had to go to therapy together.
And
because you're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear how you hurt me and how you disappointed me as a child, including, my siblings or what have you. You're gonna hear about it.
Yeah.
So that next time, if you have a conscious mind, next time you decide that this is something that you maybe want to take part in, this is the face you're gonna see. And remember how you made me feel when you did it. And a disappointment on my face when I told you.
Right. Sheree is on the phone with, I believe her name is Donicia.
Oh, I had Benice. Is it
Donisha? I don't know.
Is it a D?
Is
it Siri?
We can call her D.
Siri,
She's on the phone with D, her friend in LA, and she lets her know that she has about 10 to 11 pieces coming in that night. And then she's like, well, do you think that they'll be here in the next day or so, like all the other pieces? And she's like, no, I don't. We'll see what
we'll see what he says.
Right. Now we move over to Kenya.
Yes.
She's at the CVS
with Robert.
Care setup.
Robert, he's the category manager for CVS. To see her products on the shelf that she's super excited about.
And it looks like she's doing very well. She has a lot of shelf space. And I hate to say it, I know we're on Housewives of Atlanta right now. Love you guys. But if you see in the back, Stormy is taking the rest of the space. Canvas girl beauty. I'm just saying, shout out.
What in the scene?
Mm-hmm. If you look in the background in the picture, it's all after, like once they stop focusing on Kenya, when they're like sitting in the aisle talking, all you see is Stormy's products on the shelf in the background.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Everybody just talks about how they're super, super happy for Kenya. They're so proud of her, especially Candy, because we remember the first couple episodes, she was kind of all over the place. She really didn't have a business manager. She didn't have enough supply to meet the demand of what she was doing. But it seems like everything is kind of...
Look, Candy was like, look, my products ain't in CVS. So,
right,
Kenya.
And then Sonya shows up and she's like, I wanted to come through and support because this is no Dollar General. CVS is a
real deal, boo. Okay?
CVS shows up hobbling down the aisle with her boot.
It's so funny. I literally put hobbling also.
Right. Congratulated Kenya on her big win. And then, of course, they got to talk about Sheree in the upcoming show. And, Kenya lets them know that she only has 5 pieces right now.
Well, she was supposed to have 20 to 22.
They were supposed to have 22. And so they're all confused as to what exactly they're going to be seeing. And they basically say, you can't pull off a fashion show with 5 fashions. Drew then talks about how Sheree still has not paid for her part.
Well, Sonya was like, oh, well, maybe it'll just be a party. And Drew was like, well, I hope not. Because we know she don't pay for parties. Because she still owed me a few $100s.
And can I tell you, this is why I love Drew. Because that would be me in that moment. I'm going to let you know every time I see you that you still owe me some money. I might not even want it. I just got to bring it up at that point that you didn't pay me.
Kenya thanks the ladies for supporting her. And she was like, look, let's end this with a bang. So they all march out doing the Kenya more hair care. Kenya more hair
care.
I thought that was cute.
Candy sit down with Mama Joyce to talk about everything that's been going on. She talks about how Ace is doing his acting classes, and she's even thinking of putting Blaze into dance.
Mm-hmm.
Because apparently she has a lot of personality, and I think I can definitely see that in her. So she finally gets to the fact about, you know, the trust and just working out the estates and divvying up everything. And Mama Joyce feels like she needs to protect everything that she had before she married Todd. She needs to protect her, and that should go to Riley because she is the only child of Candy. And I was like,
well,
no.
No.
The way Mama Joyce basically said, fuck them other kids.
No. That's not what she said. That's not what she said.
That's what she kind of
said. No. Okay, initially that's what I thought she was saying. Initially, but she said because she was the only one that never benefited from having a father.
Correct.
And, you know, she was there first or whatever, but she never benefited from having a father. So basically she's saying that, you know, Ace and Blaze will get
Todd and Candy.
Yes. So I understood where she was coming from.
Then Candy lets us know that she's thinking of putting Don Juan in charge of just kind of divvying
their joint trust. And she was like, I think it should be him plus somebody else.
Else. Well, who else would it be? And she's like, me.
I was not surprised. Can I tell y'all, I was not surprised.
And Candy's like, oh, you trying to cash in on me already?
Well, she's like, you trying to kill me up because hello, you the mama. Normally you go before me.
And then she's like, well, how am I gonna do that? Because you and Todd I ain't gonna get along, and it's gonna get. And she said, well,
we're gonna have to make it work.
We'll make it work. And she's like, you at least gonna be nice. And she had nothing to say.
They just started laughing.
Absolutely, she will not.
Mama Joyce know goddamn well she ain't gonna be nice.
She would leave Todd on the street. But one thing I did like that she brought up, she was like, so why are you gonna set? Because Candy was like, I have to give my husband.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
And she was like, why are you gonna set a man up for the rest of his life?
So another bitch can come in and take it is basically what she was saying.
And she was like, well, no. And she was like, yeah, but and she was like, well, Todd ain't gonna do it. And she's like, how are you gonna decide that if you're not here? I said, ooh, that's that age of wisdom.
What Candy said was she would prefer that Todd stayed single, that he can date whoever he wants, have fun,
play around,
but never get in a position where, you know, he's at risk of losing the things that they set up for their children. So
I agree. I think that's a decent, even though
can he put that can she put that in writing? Like basically like he don't get shit if he get remarried.
See, is it terrible that I would be the person to be like, I just want you to die alone? If you can't have me, I don't want your heart to go on.
You would want him to be miserable.
This ain't no Celine Dion shit. Our heart is not going on. Once I die, it's over. That's it. It's done. Once you die, yeah. It should be.
Once he died, in what? Then your heart don't go on either?
No. I would. I don't even see these niggas.
Look, Trace. I don't even see these niggas.
I don't even see
It's one day before Sheree's fashion show, and she's checking out the venue. Everything looks beautiful. Actually, listen, Linda. Okay, it does. It's beautiful. She says it's the hottest ticket in town. Everybody wants to add a +1, or like or just come. Like it's people that's not even invited. Okay, trying to get to this, and you know why? Listen, I would be trying to go. It's been 14 years in the making, boo. I would want to go and see what you finally got after this long ass time. Now, apparently, Rowan came through with the models. She even volunteers to fly anywhere in the U.S. that Sheree needs her to go to get these fashions.
With Sheree's money. That's what she needed.
Of course. And I think that's why Sheree.
And that's why Sheree said, keep your hand.
Sheree was like, I mean, you know, she ain't say it for she ain't say it in front of the camera. But she's like basically like, damn.
No, that's not in the budget, boo.
Like, I really didn't want to pay for these models, but okay. So Rowan tells her that whatever pieces she has, as long as it's at least 15 minutes long, they can do a fashion show. And anything less than that, it's like a preview. Like, boo, it's a party.
Right.
Okay. You might as well take the walkway, the runway up. Okay.
Right.
Because this ain't no fashion show. Now, Apollo showed up just in time for the walkthrough, and then so did Tyrone.
You know what? I felt funny about this because this whole episode, every time Apollo pops up, Tyrone pops up behind him.
See?
Yeah, he did it later in when Apollo shows up, Tyrone pops up again.
What got me is Tyrone goes up to Sheree and he's like, how you gonna have these models and not get me in there?
Because you can't leave. Remember, you had an ankle bracelet and you couldn't even come.
You're not a model.
You're not a model. And remember, you couldn't come meet me at the restaurant because of your prison situation. And I was about to have you put in jail. So no, I didn't think you could make it to the
What was hilarious to me is Sheree's daughter didn't even know who this man was.
She's like, who is that? And they're like, sweetie.
Production is like, that's Tyrone. She's like, oh, he's short.
Prison Bay is how Sheree is introducing this nigga to people. That's the only reason.
To the mama, not to everybody. You're the worst.
They know who Tyrone is. Everybody be like, who? Prison Bay. Oh, okay.
Oh my God. Sheree basically tells this man, look, let's go. We need to have a conversation. And she assumes the reason why he even knows about the fashion show is because she's cool with his cousin Stan. And Stan was invited to the fashion show. So this man shows up. Okay, so she tells him, oh, you could pop up here, but you couldn't pop up for me in Philly. And he was like, well, not while I was on federal confinement. And she's basically like, it was communication.
The lies
you tell. So she's basically like, okay, I went to Philly a bunch of times, saw you, you never said shit. And you was about to come to see me in New York. And he was like, oh, well, I got approval. I got approval for that. So her thing is, which is usually the case for most situations, communication. Why you couldn't say you couldn't come because I was filming? Because she says that he knew that she was filming. And I think there was like a discrepancy there because, you know, he says that he didn't. But she's like, don't you think you owe me an apology? He's like, apology? Like, apology for what?
No, that's why when he called you after he stood you up, he didn't say nothing about it. He moved forward because he didn't think he owed you nothing.
So she basically like, yeah, fuck this. I'm done with this. Bye. So he goes and introduces himself to her motherfucking daughter. So you're not going to be a part of the family. Why are you talking to my family?
Right.
I don't know. I feel like that would have pissed me off. Let the man I just cut off for the, like, not just cut off. I cut you off a while ago. You're not going to be a part of my life. And you go up to my daughter. Hey, I'm Tyrone. Let's not. Security, get this man out of here, please.
I love when production asks Apollo, they're like, so is it true what Tyrone is saying about he would have violated his probation and went
like, absolutely not.
He's like, absolutely.
Did they say like he wasn't a lawyer or something like that?
Yeah, he said he's not legal because he was like in subsection.
I got it. He said under subsection 32, everyone has the right to media context and or presence.
And we know Apollo did it. Apollo did it while he was in jail.
But listen to me. Listen to me. I understand that he's not legal, right? I understand he's not a lawyer, none of that. Let's not get it twisted. Phaedra was, but he not. Okay. So what I do know is you got plenty of time while you in there. And they got plenty of books. Okay. And you learn plenty of your rights. Okay. So I'm not saying he's a lawyer. Shit, 50 made a whole show about a whole man in jail becoming a lawyer while he was in jail. So let's look. I'm not saying he's a lawyer. He's not licensed. But that don't mean the man don't know what he's talking about.
Okay.
And remember, this is Lyrone. Okay?
This is Lyrone.
This is Lyrone. So then
Tyrone, you should never leave your queen. That was wrong of you. He calls him out. You don't leave your queen
out. And Tyrone basically said, you need to mind your business.
That's what he said.
Pretty much, in a nutshell. So then Tyrone approaches Sheree again, and tells her the venue looks nice. And, you know, she's like, okay, so like, you still feel like you don't owe me an apology? And he says, I mean, we can apologize to each other. And she's like, you know what? You better piss me off. Do not come tomorrow. I don't want, like, she's like, he can
I
kick
don't want
rocks.
your bad energy here.
Exactly. Like, I need to be Zen mode. Okay.
Marlo has her mom over at Le Archive.
I don't know why my shit do not say Marlo, but go on.
Her
I know
mom
where we at.
said that she loves the archive and it reminds her of Marlo's closet when she was a girl. As they sit down to talk, she gets upset when her mother brings up about
No, first of all,
this is
first of all, I thought it was hilarious that that Marlo is dressing her up in all these high fashions and these hats and glasses. And as soon as her mama found out how much that shit is, she took that shit right off. She's like,
she's like, you know
what we not about to do? Okay, bitch, I already stole $5,000 from you. What we not about to do?
Right, you're not about to blame me for nothing else,
right?
So, yeah, they sit down to talk, and Marlo gets upset because her mom brings up she wants to bring some man around.
Yep, that's right. That's about it. Okay. She says that she was on the phone with her friend, and she was like, her friend Crystal, and she's like, oh, you know, I wonder how Marlo would feel if I brought my friend around. And Marlo like, bitch, you only been around me for 3 days already. This man is a fucking drug addict. He ain't got a pot to piss in, and you want to bring him around. Like, and she feels like this is a trigger for her because she always felt like it was always a man involved. It always had something to do with a man. Now, and Marlo feels like that's why she ain't got one. That's why she don't want one. Long story short, they begin to get into it, and Candy walks in, and I think it was a little awkward because she walked into like almost an argument as she was walking in, Marlo was walking out, and you know, Candy, you know, with her sweet little self, she introduces herself. You know, nice to meet you. I heard so much about you, and Marlo comes back in, and Candy get right to it. She's like, so how old were your kids when you started doing drugs? Now, I don't know if this is like a country thing or like, I don't know what, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. Listen to me, because and Marlo, and I know Marlo, she's from Florida, so she's still from the South. So maybe, you know, her mom is like cool with this. Like, but let me tell you something. I don't give a damn a drug addict or not. You ask somebody from up north, hey, so, you know, how old were your kids when you started doing drugs? Basically, like when you started neglecting them and, you know, doing drugs and, you know, being high and shit around them, being a piece of shit mother, basically.
Right.
How old were your kids? You may not make it out the door. You may get your ass, and if they're sober, you might get fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay, them there's fighting words, especially for people who don't want to take accountability and don't like dredging old shit back up. Oh yeah, it might be a problem,
especially from a stranger. Yeah, because Marla,
and they just met.
Out here telling all our business,
and we put it on camera too. But you know what? Marlo's mom was a good sport, and like I said, I don't know if this is because they from the South. I don't know. Okay, this is not how we work. Okay, but she was like, yeah, you know, Marlo was about 7. Basically, she says, you know, she did it because she couldn't deal with a lot of things that were going on in her life. She couldn't accept it, and it really actually makes Candy appreciate the relationship she has with her mom even more. Because, you know, she sees Marlo trying to fix the relationship that she has with her mom and sees how damaged it is. And, you know, she says Candy knows her mom's a lot. Okay. But it does make her appreciate the relationship that she has with her mom even more.
And apparently, Candy does suggest that they go to therapy together.
I think that's a very good suggestion.
And Candy says that she tried it with Mama Joyce and she got cussed out. But she thinks it could be beneficial to Marlo and her mother. And I guess we'll see next season, won't we? Because that's about to be Marlo's new storyline. But No, yeah, I mean, Mom Dukes, and I do appreciate Mom Dukes coming back and apologizing to Marlo and was like, basically, I think she realized how hurt Marlo was, and was like, you know what, if it's too much for this man to be around, then you know what, I won't bring him around. Like, and basically apologized. And I was like,
Mhm.
so I do feel like her mother's trying to do better, and we can only hope for the best. Because I know Marlo just wants her mom to be clean, pretty much, and be a mother.
Yeah, but the fact you even had to have a conversation with your friend about it, you knew that Marlo was going to feel some type of way. And Marlo said she heard the conversation, but Marlo didn't bring it up to you. You brought it up to Marlo because you wanted to ask her if that man could come around.
Sheree,
The fashion show.
getting ready for her big
And walk. And
and
walk. And walk.
okay, saucy. She's
Let
preparing.
me see you walk. What?
She's preparing and she's telling the hairdresser about the situation with Tyrone the night before. And we learned that she received the rest of her clothes. So now she can focus on her models and all of the looks and
She
make sure.
has 27 looks, y'all, all together. They
Yes.
throwing some extras. What, it was supposed to be 22 or something like that?
Right.
And they throwing some extras.
According to the internet, Alibaba sent her the extra stuff and she sold her logo on it. That's just
You
word.
are
Allegedly.
ass.
Allegedly.
Oh, Leo. Oh my God. But apparently she got the package at like 2:30 in the morning. I don't know who the hell is delivering at 2:30 in the morning. Unless it was Rowan. Maybe she flew somewhere.
Alibaba. We see Kenya, she's trying to decide what to wear. And it's so cute because Brooklyn is trying to help her pick a dress.
Helping her. It was so cute.
Even though Kenya doesn't wear that dress, which is kind of, I felt some type of way because I like the dress that Brooklyn picked. Now,
I actually like the dress that Kenya picked better.
Whatever.
Kenya was giving in that dress. She's been looking fly all season long. I gotta give it to Kenya.
And we ain't seen no ashy feet, Kenya. Good job.
Well,
So
we ain't seen her feet.
well, that's true. We see everybody super hype, ready for the show. Sheree is starting to get the jitters every time, everything is going by so quickly. She still hasn't sat down and got her hair and makeup done. Drew and Ralph arrive, and Drew is in a glittery boot. Which
I thought that was actually cute to match her.
And then as they sit down to have a drink, she jokes and she loves the Floor logo, but says maybe my $800 that she paid for that. I told y'all, I'm like Drew. I did not think that was shady at all. It was due.
You know what's crazy? And I said, Drew,
the shade was due just like that invoice is due.
Look. And I literally, you didn't look. I said, Drew shady ass says.
So then Kenya arrives to the show, and like Nell said, she's in a totally different dress, but it's still beautiful nonetheless. And she's impressed with everything. And Candy is praying that Sheree was playing about not having these fashions ready. Then Bob, out of all people, walks in. Who? Bob, as we know, is Sheree's ex-husband, Bob Whitfield.
Oh, okay.
Walks in. And then shortly after Bob walks in, Marlo comes in. And she lets the ladies
impressed with the venue. You know, Marlo is a little picky.
Right. And then Marlo lets them know that she thinks this is a beautiful venue and that it looks like it's for a wedding. And she thinks Tyrone and Sheree are getting married tonight. And they both all joke. They're like, girl, Sheree is done with him. And she's like, no, I just saw Tyrone outside, like outside in a suit with flowers.
With flowers.
And she said, and they say he been here for a couple days.
That's what the streets is saying. The streets is talking. That's what
these Atlantic streets were saying. Now, Tyrone was outside with a bouquet. And he walks into Sheree's dressing room, and basically she's on the phone. She's doing things. She's about to have a show, and she's kind of like in the middle of stuff, but she's like, "Oh, thank you." You know what I mean?
She's like, he's coming in here like, is it supposed to be his apology with these little grocery store flowers?
Is there? And first of all, she says the flowers look like they're from the grocery store.
And then they show Publix with the prices. Bravo is the shadiest network that I know of. I swear to God. They are the shadiest network I know. And because they show Publix prices.
Publix, and I know what Publix flowers looks like. I wasn't mad at them. Now, Tyrone is there and her mother is there. Obviously, her mother.
Thelma.
So Thelma is sitting there and getting ready for the show. And Tyrone like kind of tries to walk up and introduce himself, and Sheree's like, "This is Tyrone."
And she's like, who?
And her mom don't know who that is, and she's like, "Prison Bae." And then she's like,
Oh,
that's why I told you.
She's like that. That's how she know who you are.
So yeah, and
He
basically,
got flowers for her as well. Originally, I actually thought they was for the daughter,
you're right.
but
That was cute.
and then Dwight comes in, Mr. Fashion with no fashions, and tells Sheree that he's proud of her, and it looks amazing, which it does. You really cannot deny it. And she says 14 years ago, when he said fashions with no fashion, basically she could not let today go by without Dwight being here. Right. He has to be here. So then Tyrone, goes to make his rounds and say hello to the ladies. And basically Kenya's like, does Sheree know? Like that she was coming? And he's like, no, I surprised her yesterday. And she's like, I don't like him. He's sketchy. I feel you. Kenya. Marlo says Sheree and Tyrone had a good run when he had money. But he ain't got that coin no more. So that run should be over, boo. And it is. Kenya said, just like his prison sentence, Tyrone's time is up and Sheree needs to release him. I said, oh, let me say something. Kenya be quick on her toes, boy. She be ready. Kenya be ready. So at this point, it's about 2 hours in, 2 hours late.
People the
show was supposed to start.
Like, where are the fashions?
I bet you people was like, okay, this is gonna be another repeat of 14 years ago. The ladies' feet hurt. They stealing chairs. The team was upstairs in prayer. To get ready for the models to walk out and for the fashions to be seen while Dwight is sitting here restless as hell, ready to go home. Like, I've been here for 2 hours. It's supposed to have been 2 hours ago. It could have been over by now. Then the show begins. Okay. And the models, they did a great job. The fashions look great. Candy is ready to get on the website and make some purchases.
However, half the stuff that we saw on the runway is not actually on the website. But you have to be able to get to the website to see the fashions. And as we saw opening up the show, we can't do that.
Now, I don't know if the people like the fashions or the people more, okay?
Because Kenya stood up and gave
Kenya showing up dead. She's like, ooh. She like this dude, the dude in the joggers with the tan joggers with the tan shirt. She was feeling him. Hey, boo.
Hey.
Okay, then Apollo comes out.
When you gonna let me?
So then Apollo comes out. Everybody goes crazy. It seems like except for Candy and Kenya. Kenya's like, time to go. And Candy was just giving like the face. Yeah. So, what was that about?
Like Kenya wanted to go because she didn't want to be tempted.
Oh, is that what she was getting? Well, his girlfriend was in the crowd, okay? Because she's
his girlfriend was in the crowd, but we know Kenya has gotten in trouble before. One thing she can't deny.
He had a girlfriend, yeah.
She thinks she's attractive. That's one thing we can't deny. She may not, but we know she's attracted to Apollo. And I think that's why she said that. Because he is technically not married now. He does have a girlfriend, but he's not married. He's free game. And he came down there. I think Kenya was in heat and she was like, I need to go home.
Well, everyone was really impressed with all the pieces. And they did a really good job. And then Sheree, she comes down, she does her own little walk. And the show is over. Tyrone tries to pull her to the side and ask her, can we talk? And she's like, no.
No. It'll never be.
She said it's a wrap for Prison Bae. She can't even believe she put up with that bullshit. I said,
right, Sheree.
Then all the ladies are super proud of her, and she tells them to do their best runway walk, down the Sheree walkway. And then they start off with Sonya. We find out Sonya has removed her IUD, and she is actively trying to have baby number deuce. Okay. Candy and Todd still have not finalized their trust. She's also producing another Broadway play called Piano Lesson with Samuel L. Jackson, and she's hoping this gets her the T in her EGOT. Drew is continuing to work on her fitness and her marriage, and she still ain't read her husband's book, y'all. The hell. And Marlo is gonna break ground on her Hamptons 2.0 soon, and her journey for self-improvement continues, and her edges continue to flourish. And I don't know how I feel about that, because I feel like all we saw were wig edges, but
right,
that's neither here nor there.
And Kenya and Brooklyn
We're twirling the summer in Europe. Okay, and Sheree is no longer answering Tyrone's phone calls, anything to do with Tyrone, because she got a new bae. Okay, and we all know who that man is.
So thank you guys so much for tuning in into this review. As we know, we have gotten to the end of season, so thank you for hanging in with us for our first Real Housewives season. Well, I can't even say first, because we did the Dubai season, but I'll say our second season of a Real Housewives franchise. Thank you for your support. Please make sure, if you have not already, that you like,
you comment,
you subscribe,
and you
hit the
like button. You hit the notification bell.
Yes.
Listen, it was too much.
But thank you guys for the support, helping us grow and glow. Please share us with your friends. We will catch you for the reunion of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and hope that by the time we come back, we can show you some fashions by the she of the Sheree.
Girl, the only way you're going to get fashions if you screenshot it from the show.
Let's see what happens.
Front, back, side to side. Make sure you go like and subscribe. Front, back, side to side. Make sure you go like and subscribe. Hey!